Hey, what's going on, guys? Midnight7B here. Welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Thunder 2000. It's episode number 122 today at the final season of the Pepsi 400 here at Daytona International Speedway. Immediately, you can tell there is a brand new paint scheme. And not just any paint scheme, a special one-off paint scheme here for us today. We are driving the Hornet Classic. That's exactly right, from the original Daytona USA arcade game, but Nick, why is it yellow and red, not the blue and white? Well, my friends, so those little polls I give you about what am I gonna do, like please select automatic or manual transmission. This is what I was talking about, secretly talking about between automatic and manual transmission. I mean, I drive a manual transmission in real life as well, so this also kind of like also fits as well. I mean, I try to make it as detailed as possible. I even try to match the colorings of the actual car that you choose in the manual transmission anyway. But don't worry, the other cars are there. I promise you that. The other, we do have a 41 car in the field after all. So, ta-da! Chad Chaffin is also running this car. Yes, the original blue, red, and white with the actual number on there. Ta-da! There you go. The actual Hornet blue, red, and white as well. Yeah, I figured it's just, I wanted to make this, I haven't done a Daytona USA thing, like any NASCAR game, but this is honestly the perfect chance to do it. Why not? It's our last time we're probably gonna be ever going to Daytona in this game, so we might as well go off with the most fun and interesting way possible by not having one but two Hornet cars in the field. Oh, wait. Did I say two Hornet cars? I meant three. Yeah, there's three of them now. You can see there's a number one, as you can see in the multiplayer group. But yeah, Nick, this game has multiplayer, so it's not just three, guys. It's actually going to be 10. There's 10 Hornet cars in the field. Each one exactly like the multiplayer cars you would use to play at the arcades. As for the number fonts, I try my best to have the most accurate numbers I could possibly have. But, yeah, so this one's Steve Parks. This would be Hank Parker Jr.'s car. Of course, it's being a Ford, so I had to do a little bit of a different texture with this, as well as Greg Biffle. Yes, even Greg Biffle has one, too. So we're going to go to Andy Houston in just a second. Here is the third car. Yep, it was yellow. Andy Houston will be driving this yellow car here for this one-off episode. Here is car number 4 with the green, of course, as well. Of course, I'm having to match the number with this one. It was an actual one. No, it came with the templates I found. But yeah, this one is also there. Jeff Green. How fitting for Jeff Green to be driving a green car for this episode. How fitting. Even the logos are green, back from the arcade game. So, how fitting, really. It all just works out in the end like that. Randy LaJoy will be running the black and white variant of this paint scheme as well. I always aimed for this car back in my old arcade. I always aimed for this one. I don't know. I like the monochrome colors a little bit more than others. I always liked monochrome colors, like black and white and gray. I always liked that. I always thought it was pretty cool when I was younger. So that's why I always chose this car at the Daytona USA games. Before I go any further, which car would you always choose if you were at the arcade games back in the day? Which car number did you choose if it was available in the original Daytona USA? I always chose car number 5, not because I like 55, but I like the black and white coloring. And also, Greg Biffle will be running the pink, and I always found it weird in the actual arcade game. The number was green for some reason. I don't know. I always found it was a little bit out of place. It's definitely contrasts with the paint scheme itself, so that's all there is to about that, so that's pretty cool. Glenn Allen Jr. will be running the light blue car, and of course with the orange logos and all that stuff all over the car as well. And finally, one last one. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be driving the number 8, the orange Hornet, the last of the 8-player links that you would see at the original arcades back in the day. Yeah, like I said, there's 10 Hornets. It's a whole Hornet's nest in this episode, an absolute Hornet's nest. Every single Hornet from the original 1991-92 arcade game, Daytona USA, is in the field today. So we have a quarter of the field to be running the Hornet mobiles. That is honestly insane. So I can't wait to see if one of us ends up winning this episode today. I hope so. With that long stuff out of the way, we finally get to go take a look at the points anyway. We are now second in the standings, 44 back behind Keller. And Green's about 71 back. So basically, we're trying to race against both the former PPC Racing teammates. Johnny Benson actually moved himself up to 4th in the standings. A bit of twists and tumblings down in the point standings order anyway. We still have about another half left to go in the season. But of course, let's not worry about that. We have a race to win with, of course, the iconic Daytona USA cars. Let's go away. As also we all know, we make sure we have our default setup here at Daytona because we have won in many races there. But of course, that's not the main issue. We are forced default because of the super speedway, so we can't even make pit road adjustments even if we wanted to. So now we begin tonight here at Daytona.
Tonight, it's super speedway action under the lights. MRN is live at the Daytona International Speedway this evening with flag-to-flag coverage of the Pepsi 400. This track is known by everyone, race fan or not. But for these race teams, it's a glory all its own when you can get a win here.
The list of former winners here is very prestigious indeed. Who wouldn't want their name to be on it? Who knows, maybe we'll add another lucky driver when this one's all over.
An unusual back-of-the-pack start for Kevin Harvick.
You know, I spoke with the guys from that team in the garage this morning, and they said they tried something a little different in qualifying this week. They learned their lesson, though. Stick with what works, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Jeremy Mayfield is having some trouble in the points this year.
Well, there's always going to be someone who has to fill in the bottom of the points list. Of course, none of these guys want to ever see their name there. Sometimes it's just not your season to shine.
The 56 car has an impressive average finish this year.
It's amazing, isn't it? This guy's finishing in the top 10 week in and week out. That makes him hard to beat at the end of the year.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Rolling start. That's right. Every time we play the beginner course, that sound effect always plays. The rolling start. As we're here today is Jimmy Johnson and Randy LaJoy, the highest of the Hornet cars that we've painted in terms of qualifying anyway, are starting in P2. And how fitting, both the DEI cars are sitting right beside each other, and of course Andy Houston as well. Jeff Green, I still think it's kind of funny how he's driving a green car. How coincidental that is, really is. We got 40 laps though. It's a pretty long time, pretty short time, I should say. I can't even say a long time. Short time as we're underway here. Wow, I can't even mess up these intros any further as we got nearly blowing the engine right before we even cross the start finish line. Yeah, 40 laps is not a whole lot of time to get to even do anything though, really. We have to make sure we play our cards right. And I don't have the best equipment for this race. We're actually using, I think, our worst equipment. And the reason for this is because, well, I made a poll as well to please select the race course. And y'all chose expert. So that's why I kind of like have these sudden, like these hidden meetings anyway. Of course, just like what we did with the car's paint scheme being automatic or manual transmission. I thought that the expert level difficulty would be perfect for me anyway. I always love challenges. We all know that, right? I like challenges. I like to be challenged. And speaking of, it was pretty challenging to even get through those positions between Anthony Lazzaro and Tony Roper in the 14 as well. As we go through lap number 1, just barely squeezing by, but Tony Starr's not faring either, any much better either. He's in 40th, and we're in 41st. We're gonna try to use all the speed that we can because it takes us a second to get up to speed. Of course, if we lose any bit of momentum, it's rather costly. As we slam it in the back of Jack Sprague, we check for damage. There's none, but I'm not sure what I heard the other crunching sound was. But we're going to end up moving up to P38. We got to try to tail Lynn and Amick, but maybe even have pull Jack Sprague there. Can we even stay in the draft with Lynn and Amick? And there's also Jeff Gordon up there. It seems like Tony Stewart always has a bad time qualifying in his mod, or at least on the super speedways, which is fine. I mean, Jeff Gordon just kind of sucks at qualifying anywhere, no matter where he goes, really. It doesn't really matter, it seems. Oh, he's going to go 3 wide in the middle on lap 2 with Lyndon Amick and Jeremy Mayfield. We're going to make it past on no man's way. We're going to make slicing and dicing our way through. As we're going to pin Jeff Gordon on the high side, and we got Adam Petty as well in the 88. We're going to pin him up there as well. So already up to P34, I would say. We're clear there. Yes, we are. As you can see, finally, the first of the Hornet cars, we got Hank Parker Jr. in the number 2, that blue deuce there. How fitting how this is really just a blue deuce there. Of course, being on a Ford, I can't have every one of those cars be on a Chevrolet, sadly enough, which would be a lot easier for me. I had to make 2 separate bases just for that. So yeah, basically the Hornet cars have the same base. It's just, of course, different colors. Same with the 2 and the 6. Anyway, I just thought though, as a major stack up, what's going on there? We got Chad Chaffin. Oh no, Chad! I was hoping to view your car more. Oh, no. There goes that 41 car of Chad Chaffin. Now we have to just stick in line with Glenn Allen Jr. and hope to God we can actually get ourselves going, because this is literally the only 3 cars that we're going to have as drafting partners. Hopefully we can get ourselves up there anyway. Well, I guess I got to admire the 7 car has a little bit of damage on the backside as well. Not a good look there. The field has really separated themselves into 2 separate packs ever since what happened to all the others. I felt so sad because I really wanted to see Chad Chaffin more up here, though. But unfortunately, he got caught up there, so I really can't even see that blue, red, and white 41 car and pretty much in action. So now we're just stuck viewing the manual transmission car. As you can see, the pink car of Greg Biffle as well at number 6. Also, I think Hank Parker Jr. is also in that back of the pack too, so he's stuck back there too. So rather unfortunate there. So it's both the 2 and the 40, the 2 and the 41 Hornet cars are pretty much back there. We're hoping a need for a caution. We're actually going to go past our other 2 Hornet cars of Greg Biffle in the 6 and Glenn Allen Jr. in the 7, of course. Making maneuvers left and right, and, well, I guess only left here, I would say. I mean, I do a pretty good job with this paint scheme, and of course, the first thing I see is Chad Chaffin and Hank Parker Jr. just absolutely get stuck back there, so I can't even get that much screen time. Dang it. Well, it looks like the 2 became 3 car packs, and even Kurt Busch in that 18 car is actually struggling to keep up. He's in our slipstream now, or at least in Justin Labonte's anyway, but it's just that there's now, when we pulled away from that other pack that's behind us there, led by Greg Biffle and Chad Little, the Giga Chad himself. We're actually 25% of this race already done, as we got Jerry Dadu alongside. We're going to try to make an easy pass on him down the inside, using all the strength and momentums we have. We have Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Ron Hornet a little bit further back than he's probably used to at these super speedways. He's kind of stuck in his little group that's over here anyway. So yeah, rather a bit of an unfortunate series of starts anyway for them, as we're going to try to keep moving our way forward here. As I see the other Hornet cars up there. We got the red, yellow, and green ones up there. That's really nice to see. We got Mark Green in a 9. Having a decent run anyway. We got our point leader right in front of us. That's Jason Keller, that point leader right in front of us. We got to go finish ahead of him. We want to make sure we get any points on him, of course, being the point leader and all. But we're going to try to make an easy pass on him. We're actually going to try to pin John Andretti up there, to Jason Keller, but it doesn't really affect him that much. Keller's going to be right behind us, as well as Jeff Burton. That's also up there, as well as we heard our crew chief telling us our tires are worn. Mike Borkowski is going to is just hanging in the top 10. We got Keller trying to give him giving us a push. Can I stop being like Porky Pig for 5 seconds and stop stuttering? That'd be awesome. As we're going to try to pass Borkowski on the inside, but he's going to have a little bit of help with Jeff Burton. We're going to try to barely get any sort of stretch with Steve Parkin at number 1. I can barely see that number 1 car from here, that red Hornet mobile. As we see the next one in the Hornet Classics here, we have the black one of Randy LaJoie. As you can see there, that beautiful black and white monochrome Hornet colors. We're going to go try to make a pass on him down on the inside at number 5. The Hendrick number 5, I should say. We're going to clear him. Can we clear him? Yes, we can. So we're up to P9. And we have a huge pack of cars that are up here. Casey Atwood having a good run so far, that number 32 car. He's doing a great job out of all this racing so far. He's trying to make his way inside the top 5. An excellent showing for him. Jimmy Johnson, though, he is in another zip code. Where is Jimmy Johnson going to? What is that Haas Carter Motorsports like smoking there? What is going on there? A rather strange things appear to be underneath that hood at 66. We're going to try to push Casey Atwood and Steve Park ahead of Jeff Burton, but Jeff Burton's going to have a much better preferred corner line, of course. We're trying to pull away from Keller as well. We kind of want to, try to catch up to that point lead as much as possible, but I kind of want to push all the other Hornet cars to have good content, I should say. There we go. There we go. There we go. Steve Park's going to try to go for more. This time on Casey Atwood as well. We clear Jeff Burton. We just keep pushing these guys anyways. We're going to hopefully Jeff Burton continues to fall back anyway. We're going to hopefully do that. We've got Casey Atwood in that number 32. Once again, having a very strong run. He's running in P7 right now. We're going to try to ruin that hopes and dreams of his pretty soon. As we can see, there's people already in the pit stops already. We see that blue car of Hank Parker Jr. already in the pits. Now Jeff Burton's going to have to give us a tow. Wow, I don't think I'm going to be able to catch Steve Park and Jeff Green. Unless Steve Park wants to stay on that line right there, but we're just not even gaining much of anything at all. And Jimmy Johnson, once again, as I said, he's in another zip code. He's all by himself up there. But no, we can't catch him. We cannot catch the other pack in front. So we're going to have to talk back in line with Casey Atwood. Ooh. I thought I was clear. I wasn't. Thankfully, Jeff Burton gave us a bit of a break there. We have caught up with the rest of the other Hornet cars that are up there. We see the 1 car as well as Steve Park, and the 3 car of Andy Houston, and the 4 of Jeff Green as well. You can see all the in their former glory. This is like one of those old multiplayer races you would see in the original arcade days back in the day. There's one of those like 8-car player races. I miss having those at like arcades. I used to be like the best. I would always win against like my friends. It was just a fun time being at a summer camp all those years ago. Just playing nothing but Daytona USA. They actually had a bounty on me at one point. So like, if you can take Nick away from winning the race, you get like $5 or whatever. Obviously, the people were not very happy about the bounty that's been happening, and I don't know. It just makes for a great story, though. Speaking of great stories, we can finally see that blue and red of Chad Chaffin, who already went into the pits, it looks like there. So he's going to be a lap down from what it looks like here. He's already a lap down as we go 3 wide. We're not going to go 3 wide. We're actually going to stay behind both the DEI cars and, of course, the 41 of Chad Chaffin as Jeff Green is going to try to make a maneuver on the outside. He's trying to use Johnny Benson as a bit of a drafting partner here. I might actually second that, actually. Actually, no, never mind. We kind of gave him a little bit of a contact there. So we're up to P4 now. We're actually up to P4, still 3 seconds back, as we got the whole Hornet trio. Actually, no, quadruped or quattro, Tetris, something. There's 6 of them now. Yeah. We're just gonna move up there and think about when are we gonna come down pit road as well. We actually need a good pit stop here in order to have any sort of chance. Right now, the biggest issue is to try to catch up to Jimmy Johnson. Like I said, he is in other zip code right now. We're actually shooting through the middle this time with both the 4 and the 8, and try to push Steve Park to the lead, through here. But Chad Chaffin is being a bit of a nuisance there, I should say. As much as iconic that paint scheme is, he is being rather a nuisance right now. Remember, he's a lap down now as Andy Houston makes his way into the pits. Jeff Burton's thinking about making a move on the outside. We're going to say no. We're trying to get Steve Park to make a maneuver on the inside of Chad Chaffin and keep moving our way forward, because Jimmy Johnson is still by himself and all the way up there. Meanwhile, the leaders these guys are having a hard time getting through all these lap cars, as we have both the 1, the 8, and the 4 all ready to rock and roll here to try to do something to get around these guys. We're still sitting in P4, maybe even P5 a little bit. We're going to say no to both Jeff Burton and Jason Keller. We got to start thinking about coming down pit road, because we got to go pretty soon. We need to have a drafting partner, though. We need to make sure we need to have somebody that can actually help us out and move forward here. As we can see, most of the field's actually already down pit road this time, so you might have to wait another lap or so before coming on in. As we can see, Casey Atwood's making a maneuver down on the inside, making his way down the pit road. Again, we're just trying to lure Steve Park down low. Come on, Steve. I need you to go around this guy. And we're still stuck there, but there's a lot of traffic coming out of pit road now. And all the other Hornets seem to have gotten around me. Wow. I think we should pit this time, or the next time anyway. We don't want to lose. I think Jimmy Johnson might have had something of his own too. His own drafting partners up there. So that's a bit concerning, especially seeing how Chad Chaffin's kind of in the way. Here comes a bit of a cluster. Here's a bit of a cluster there. Ooh. Oh, we really need to do something here as we're barely clearing Jason Keller. As Keller comes into the pits all by himself, so, I mean, if I didn't know he was going to come on in, I would have went with him, but now we're all kind of stuck up here. So we're going to think about coming into the pits this time and try to work our way up as we give Jeff Burton a bit of the business. We kind of added a little bit too much contact there. I was trying to just pull him back a little bit, but I guess it was just a little too much contact, and now he's just back there. But he will have some help to get himself back up there. But we got to think about coming down pit road this time or so. We have to think about it, because we're running low on fuel. We're only going to 26 completed green flag laps already. I think some of the other cars are coming down pit road, as we're going to have to come on in. The problem is we're going to have a much slower stop, because our braking point is not exactly the greatest in the world at this track. As we have 3 of those cars coming on in, we're going to try to... Oh, we can't do it as well as they can. Oh, not as well as they can. As you can tell, of course, as well, we're not allowed to make any adjustments with the pit cycle, so that's what we have. All right, come on, guys. We gotta make someone of Jeff Burton was also in as well. So this must have been the last lap before green flag pit stops have ended. I think I see Jimmy Johnson coming as well, so we gotta get moving here. So we are now ahead of everybody else that's up there. So we're ahead of Steve Park and Jeff Green and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now Jimmy Johnson is all by himself up there. He is all by himself. Wow, Casey Atwood's actually going to make a pass on us, and Jason Keller as well. So I guess the lap call was supposed to pit a lap earlier than that, I suppose. Maybe even Johnny Benson might be able to get around us as well. Who knows? And he does. Now this is the point where we're actually going to start letting some of these guys go and just work our way up together as a unit. The swarm. The swarm of Hornets. The swarm. Even Andy Houston wants in on the fun. I think that's Randy LaJoy as well. I might have to let Houston go because I lost contact of the others. So if Houston wants to make a maneuver down the inside, that'd be great. Oh, 8 seconds. Oh, that's going to be a long way to go to catch. Especially since Houston's not being cooperative right now. Still not being cooperative. Now you're cooperating. Let's go, buddy. As we got Randy LaJoy also in the party, too. He's in that 10th spot here. How many Hornets are actually in the top 10? I have no idea. I kind of lost track. Now we got to go try to push Andy Houston up to that second pack and just try to get ourselves up to Jimmy Johnson, who is just absolutely gone. A bit of a moment there for Andy Houston. That's going to cost us some time. So we're actually going to have a new challenger. That's right. Ron Hornaday, you're up next. You're up next, Hornaday. I kind of need you to get moving, buddy, because we are a lot farther back than I was hoping to be. The good news is Jimmy Johnson's by himself. The bad news is there's no traffic nearby. So we really don't have any time at all to catch up to him. We need to be on the move like now. Coming to 7 laps to go. We're finally back in this pack again, but we're still only 8 seconds back. There's really no chance in the world, unless somehow, some way, this lap car that's in front of Jimmy Johnson, he catches him, and he causes a bit of trouble. Now we're sticking behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. for a little bit here, trying to make some gains happen here on this inside line, but not really much is going on there as we're trying to catch up desperately. Even to that third and second place cars of Casey Atwood third and Jason Keller second. We really don't want Keller to be in second, of course, because he's a point leader, so we really don't need him to be up there as we kind of nearly put Steve Park into the wall there. Not exactly the most cleanliness of the maneuvers I don't think I've done. This means that again we kind of nudged Jeff Burton the wrong way and it kind of messed him up a lot there. So what am I to say? We got as we keep running our fastest laps of the race, trying to stick behind the faster cars of Dale Jr. and now Jeff Green. We're actually going to try to see if we can get maybe a little bit more with Jeff Green, but no, Earnhardt just slams the door. Earnhardt trying to do anything desperately to try to get himself that first career win, but I don't think that's going to happen in this race, as we're gonna be stuck on the outside line here with Johnny Benson, trying to see if we can clear ourselves. There we go. Coming to 5 laps to go now. Just so we can probably catch second and third, but again, if that lap car gets in the way of Jimmy Johnson, we might have a chance. Coming to 2 laps to go. We're catching up to that pack, but also we're catching up to Jimmy Johnson, too. He's struggling with that lap car that's in front. He's been trying to get around him. Not exactly sure why he's struggling to get around. I can't even tell who that is that's on the inside there. I mean, it might be like Tim Fito or something, but it's 2 laps to go. If we had like maybe 4 more laps, he probably would have had something for them, but we're just kind of like stuck in the P5 spot with Jeff Green in front and Dale Jr. behind us. The Hornet Swarm is trying to go as fast as we humanly can, but oh man, he's really being held up. Jimmy's really being held up. This one's not over yet, folks. It's really not over yet, as Jimmy Johnson might be having the biggest choke job in the season so far, as even Casey Atwood is having a chance at this race win. Could we have another back-to-back upset? Can we have one more time around this time by? Can we have any sort of steam at all to catch up? We're using Jeff Green as many horses as we can. We got Dale Jr. behind. Oh no, Jimmy's gonna get passed on the inside on the final lap with Jason Keller. But the Fords are coming to help. The Fords are coming to help. Jason Keller is trying to steal the race win away from Jimmy Johnson. We're trying to do everything we can ourselves. We're in P5. Could we just happen to steal this on the final corner? I'm not so sure, but is Jason Keller going to steal this race win away from Jimmy Jam after dominating all race long? But we're going to try to do everything we can to go 3 wide on this first final straightaway. Can we get there done? Oh my goodness, a 3 wide photo finish. Can we get there? No, we cannot. Jimmy Johnson wins. Oh man, what a finish. What a finish.
Free race.
Whoa, that doesn't happen very often. It makes you pay a whole lot more for any mistakes. You don't have the cushion of yellow flags to get caught up.
The 56 car took excellent care of his race car.
Yeah, you never quite know what's going to happen in these NASCAR and Winston Cup races. When you finish a race and your car still looks brand new, you've done one heck of a job as a driver.
Unfortunately, we're out of time for now. Thanks for joining us. So long. We'll see you next week at the New Hampshire International Speedway.
Congratulations, you placed second. By the skin of his teeth, after dominating the entire race, Jimmy Johnson gets his second NASCAR Cup Series win of the season here at Daytona. He won earlier in Atlanta, and now he's winning here today at Daytona. So 2 wins there for Jimmy Jam this season. He's hoping to add a few more to get himself back in this title fight, but as for us, we finish yet again in P2, and unfortunately, none of the Hornets have be able to come down to victory lane and celebrate here today. So we have to deal with a boring Lowe's car to win the race here today. But as for us, though, I mean, it's a party time, not for us anymore, though, because New Hampshire's up next, and we will take that second place finish and gain a little bit on Keller. So we definitely needed that one. Now, that was almost a choke job, wasn't it, Jimmy? That was almost the biggest choke job you've ever done. You had the race locked up, and you kept trying to get around 10 feet away on the outside like an idiot. And look where it led you, to a near loss in that. Anyway, we got Jimmy wins, ourselves second, trying to make a very last-ditch effort, trying to take the lead away from Jimmy Johnson. Jason Keller third. Casey Atwood 4th, Dale Jr. 5th, Jeff Green 6th, Ron Hornet 7th, Steve Park 8th, Johnny Benson 9th, and Jeff Burton rounds out your top 10. Isn't this like our 4th second place finish in a row, I would say? Like, we keep racking up the second place finishes, so I got that going for us. Obviously, the biggest dominant factor today was Jimmy Johnson. As we take a look through the rest of the field here today. Yeah, I mean, that was a fun little throwback race for us. I thought it was pretty fun. We almost had it at the very end because the people were just getting held up, and a Hornet has fallen. A Hornet has fallen. He did not make the finishing of the race there. And Tim Fedewa, so I gotta tell you, these lap cars, they always produce something at these super speedways. Well, the fun time is over because now we're going to New Hampshire. God damn it. I mean, we brought the points down to 39 at the halfway point with Jason Keller now having still a bit of a smaller lead there. Jeff Green still hasn't won a race yet, and that still concerns me. Jimmy Johnson, with that win, now is up to P6 in the standings, as Tony Stewart now falls to 9th. Yeah, so a multi-win season for Jimmy Jam, but be it by the skin of his teeth. By the skin of his teeth, he manages to get himself a multi-win season. Yet another second-place finish for us. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. It was fun making all these paint schemes together, and things are gonna go back to normal, though, of course. But we may see these Hornet cars again, and of course, they're gonna be on the secondaries of some of the race teams, anyways. That I've not painted a scheme for, so we might see like the 2 or the 6, or maybe even like the I think the 5 also was I haven't paid a scheme for, so maybe we'll see them again at some point. So anyway, guys, I hope you loved the special edition of the Daytona USA edition of NASCAR 30,000. And as always, we'll see you in the next one at New Hampshire. See you guys then.